Let's look at creating your first Flex event together by cloning a template. If you haven't already bookmarked the eCom homepage, I'd highly encourage that you do. That URL is cu.edu/ecom. To view available templates, you can navigate from our eCom website by hovering over Guidelines in the top navigation. Under that, you can click into our eCom event templates. We've made 6 different Cvent Flex templates available to users to clone and customize for their events. To start, we have 2 simple event templates. We then move into our more intermediate event templates that have a few more design elements. And finally, some more advanced event templates. I would not advise starting with one of these your first time using Flex. This page allows you to preview the event website, see the name of the template for when you go to clone it, as well as preview the event. So you can actually test the event form up until the summary page to get a better feel for the template you're about to clone. Log in to Cvent. I'll go ahead and select login on the top right of the navigation on our eCom website. From here, we'll select the blue button on the right indicating the Cvent login. From here, you will use the same credentials you were provided your first time logging into Cvent. Once in Cvent, you can navigate to the Help and Support area in the top right corner. When you click that, it will open up in a separate tab. Here you can either open a case, chat with them via instant messenger, or request a phone call. Before reaching out to these folks, I personally like to search through the knowledge base to see if I can find an article that will walk me through the steps rather than having a person do it. And that's really just your own preference. You're fine to do whatever you want. But as an example, I'll go ahead and type sessions with the idea that I know that's something that I want to do for my event, and it's my first time doing that. Pretty simple that the first article here surrounds creating sessions. When you open that up, these tutorials are so good and so straight and to the point and provide a lot of detail as well. So highly encourage using these resources as much as you can. The other nice thing about submitting a case is that it will be kept in your account under My Cases in the top right corner here. So every case that I have ever submitted is listed out here, but I'll go ahead and open up one just as an example regarding wait lists. But we can see the subject I put in, the description that I asked when I submitted this case, and then you're also able to track your entire conversation. What I really love is that they point you to the same knowledge base articles that you could have searched for yourself. I'll go ahead and exit out of this tab to get out of the help and support, and I'm just brought back to Cvent to build my events. We'll use this big green button in the top right corner to create our event. To access those templates, we'll change this Create Radio button to the second option indicating using an event template. Now the option below it wants us to select what event template we're cloning. To do so, select the ellipses on the right. In the top search, I like to just start typing Flex event. You will be presented with the same 6 templates that we looked at on our eCom website. Once you know which one you would like to clone, you can go ahead and select. The program will take a minute to copy every single aspect of that template for you to now customize. I like to keep the handling method of the emails or set scheduled emails to be manually sent instead from the default radio button. With that, you can scroll down and start modifying this information. I will go ahead and rename the title of this. But otherwise, I'm going to leave most of this information blank just so we can move through it quickly. Again, you should be very familiar with this part if you've been in standard for any amount of time. Go ahead and hit next to start configuring my event. And again, it should be very similar to standard. The only difference you might see is some of these features that are not unlocked yet. They are not available, and so if you need that feature, Flex might not be a good option for you. So I won't turn anything on, but I'm just going to go next, get to my next configuration window. I'm going to hit next on that again, but if you have these features that you want to turn on, you're welcome to do so. Of course, built into our template, web links is turned on, which I will keep. But with that, I can go ahead and say finish and start configuring that first event. So we've already completed the event details portion of this, right? We've configured it, turned on or off these things. And there really shouldn't be many differences from standard. So that really leaves me to move on to my next tab, being website and registration. Here we can compare the difference in the navigation when you're working with a standard event compared to a Flex event. And the good news about Flex is this portion of the navigation is much more condensed. So specifically having the website and registration portion open, the first thing you might notice is that with standard, you have an event website and a mobile website, whereas with Flex, you only have the event website. And that's because while you design only the event website with desktop in mind, it automatically will respond to the device. Another portion under registration used to include 3 different sections. Now in Flex, those have been combined into one simple registration process. While I will not dive in here, surveys is another area where there used to be 3 different types in 3 different areas. Those have also been combined to now just be feedback surveys. While in the site designer, it is important to be familiar with the terminology that Cvent uses. So the screenshot showing site designer, you can actually have sections. And so what's outlined there in orange, and you'll see as you're building within Cvent, those sections will be outlined with orange as well. And so those areas are a bit bigger where they actually house one or many widgets, what we see outlined in blue there. So in this example, I have 2 widgets, one being the event title, the other widget being the register button, both within this section. So that will just be important as you're building it out to know, are you clicking into this section to change the background image of that entire area? Or are you interested in a very single component of it, being a widget? With the website and registration portion complete, I'll go on over to promotion and communication. I will quickly mention the first area being web links. And so this should be no different than what you experienced in standard. As you can see, there's automatically the registration and summary link provided for you to embed in your Marketing Cloud invitation. The next area under promotion and communication we will look at that will feel slightly different, but I think very much an enhancement, is the event emails under the second column of emails. At first glance, the invitation emails look very similar to standard, but once you dig into them, you might realize they are slightly different. I like to just go ahead and open up Email Designer with this big green button. So now designing your emails occurs in one single designer tool, or what they call Email Designer. And so while it's separate from Site Designer, it does behave very similarly. So in order to go between the different emails that you have in Cvent, you can use this top area to click into those different emails and quickly make your changes. Once you're in the email you want to modify, it is as simple as clicking into the section you want to modify, and the area that populates on that right-hand side will allow you to modify it. Of course, you'll notice the use of data tags within these emails, which is highly encouraged. Those can be found within the WYSIWYG editor with this little data tag button. After that, it's easy to search through different tags that relate to your event. As you make changes, don't forget to hit save. Note, there is no version history within Email Designer. Once you've built your event emails, launching your event, managing your invitees once it's actually been launched, as well as reporting on your event within Flex should all be very, very, very similar to what you had in standard. So I will not be reviewing that either. As you continue your journey in transitioning to Flex, or just with eComm as a whole, our eComm wiki is really a great resource for users. To get there, you can go to our website and then click on Help in the top navigation. Once here, you can either use the search function in the top right, but sometimes we see that folks don't know what terms to search because you're so new to the tools. And so recently we rolled out really an index of our resources as well. So I like to click into this Need Help, Start Here, which will always be the top post. And you'll notice in here that we've broken it down per application. So in this case, I will go ahead and highlight under Cvent. I'll navigate to the alphabetized category of Flex. So anything we discussed at a training, during a recording should be available here. And so if you can't find a resource that you're hoping for, don't hesitate to reach out to your eComm specialist. That will filter up to us and we'll get a resource out there, not only for you, but for others. So thank you for those value adds.